Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Renita Devi, an accounting student class F. Now, I'd like to explain you about managerial and cost accounting concept from Accounting Principle 2 by Elizabeth A. Minbiole. Let's get started. Financial statements are used by both external users and internal management and provide general information about the entire company. For example, the balance sheet reports total inventories and the income statement reports cost of goods sold, and the costs of individual products are not disclosed to the public. Internal management needs detailed information to make decisions about its business. A comparison of managerial and financial accounting shows the difference between the two sets of information. It serves a table about the managerial and financial accounting comparison. According to the users, for managerial accounting, it has internal managers, but for financial accounting, it has creditors, investors, analysts, and other external users. According to guidelines for preparations, for managerial accounting, it's flexible, but for financial accounting, it has GAAP. According to the proposed, for managerial accounting, it has decisions making and control information, but for financial accounting, it has the general information for credit and investment decisions. According to the frequency of preparations, for managerial accounting, it is as needed, but for financial accounting, it's annually and quarterly. According to independent opinion, for managerial accounting, it's non-required, but for financial accounting, it's about the auditor's opinion. According to the type of information, for managerial accounting, it has the specific to project of management actions. Maybe it detailed and include estimates, but for financial accounting, it has general purpose, very few estimates. And then we continue to manufacturing financial statements. Manufacturing companies have several different accounts compared to service and merchandising companies. These include three types of inventories account: raw materials, work in process, and finished goods, and several long-term fixed assets account. A manufacturing company uses purchase raw materials and or parts to produce a product for sale at a point in time. The company's inventories consist of raw materials, those materials and parts waiting to be used in production. Work in process, all materials, labor, and other manufacturing costs accumulated to date for products not yet completed. And finished goods, the cost of complete products that are ready to be sold. The value of each type of inventory is disclosed in a company's financial statements. The amounts may be shown individually on the face of the balance sheet or disclosed in footnotes. In the long-term asset sections of a manufacturing company's balance sheet, one would expect to find factory buildings and equipment and possibly a small tools account. A manufacturer often has patents for its products or processes. The capitalist costs associated with the patents would be included in the intangible asset sections of the balance sheet. The income statement for a manufacturing company is similar to the prepared for a merchandising company. In calculating cost of goods sold, only the finished goods inventory account is used as shown. Costing terminology. Expenses on income statement are considered product or period cost. Product costs are those costs assigned to an inventory account that eventually become part of cost of goods sold. Example of manufacturing product costs are raw material used, direct labor, factory supervisor salary, and factory utilities. In a manufacturing company, product costs are also called manufacturing costs. In a service company, product costs are also accumulated as inventory. Product costs are those costs recorded as an expense in the period and they are incurred. Selling expense such as sales salary, sales commission, and delivery expense, and general and administrative expenses such as office salary and depreciation on office equipment, are all considered period costs. In a manufacturing company, these costs are often referred to as non-manufacturing costs. There are three categories of manufacturing costs, include direct materials, direct labors, and overhead. Direct materials are those materials that are used to make a product that can be directly associated with a product. Some materials used in making a product have a minimal cost, such as screw, nails, and glue, or do not become part of the final product, such as lubricant for machine and tape used when painting. Such materials are called indirect materials and are accounted for as manufacturing overhead. Direct labor is the cost of the workers who make the product. The cost of supervisory personnel, management, and factory maintenance worker, although they are needed to operate the factory, are classified as indirect labor because the worker did not use the direct materials to build the product. Manufacturing overhead costs include indirect materials, indirect labor, and all other manufacturers' costs. Depreciation on factory equipment, factory rent, factory insurance, factory property tax, and factory utilities are all examples of manufacturing overhead costs. Together, the direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead are referred to as manufacturing cost. The cost of selling the product are operating expenses and not part of manufacturing overhead costs because they are not incurred to make a product. The cost of goods manufacturing schedule. The cost of goods manufacturing schedule is used to calculate the cost of producing product for a period of time. The cost of goods manufactured amounts is transferred to the finished goods inventory account during the period and is used in calculating cost of goods sold on the income statement. The cost of good manufacturing schedules reports the total manufacturing cost for the period that were added to work in process and adjust this cost for the change in the work in process inventory count to calculate the cost of goods manufactured. I think that's all about my explanation. I hope this explanation useful for you, and for listen more, I do apologize. So thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.